What is going on, traders? Welcome back to a brand new week of trading. I hope everyone had a really good weekend and is feeling ready for a big week of trading. So if you guys are new here, my name is Eustace, or the Freshman Trader, and these videos are just me going through some of my already positions, some of the levels I'm looking at, and some potential trades that I might be looking at in the next couple of hours/days. So if you guys haven't already subscribed to A1 Trading channel, I would highly recommend it. They provide heaps of videos which are really useful to any level of trader, whether it be news, strategies, whatever. They have it all. They have traders from all over the world, and if you want to go that extra level, you can join their YouTube channel by clicking the join button, and you get a whole bunch of perks like VIP access to analysis and live streams. So yeah, go check it out. And it's a great way to support such a great company. So let's get into some analysis over here. If we look at Euro JPY, this is my position that I have. We took a loss on Euro AUD as well. So full transparency, I'm not making, these crazy trades all the time. We did take a loss, which is absolutely fine. So we'll analyze both of them, but we'll start with Euro JPY. So I took this trade about 3 p.m. okay, my time, which was during the Asia session close, and the reason I took it was very simple. So if we get rid of this for now, we can see that price created a higher high structure right there, and then we push on the 4-hour to break and close above that previous higher high right there. Okay, so as soon as I see this 4-hour time frame break and close above the previous structure, for me, I note in my head that this market is in a bullish structure, okay? And so I can assume that most likely price is going to continue bullish from here, okay? Then I combine that with my 1-hour entry, which if we flip to, we can see that price is trending down after the break. So we're pushing down slowly back to this level. I'm not going to enter straight away because why? We're in a downtrend. But then we can see we form a nice double bottom. We have a really nice wick rejection and an engulfing candle, and then I enter my trade. We're locked in at break even right now. Whether we go on to hit take profit or not really doesn't matter. I'm very happy with the trade nonetheless. Okay. Euro AUD, the other trade I took, which we can see we got wicked out of for a small loss. So very similar situation, where initially we had price sort of trending bullish, and then we break and close below the previous higher low structure, which is that right there. And then we can see right over there, we break and close below that level. Okay, so for me, I can start seeing bearish sentiment in this market, and I'm thinking price is going to continue on this sort of downtrend structure right here. Okay, my entry was on the 1-hour. And I saw price push back to this key level, create a nice weak rejection, and then we saw that big engulfing candle. Okay, unfortunately we got wicked out, which happens. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, that's why we manage our risk and we move on to the next trade. We'll review it at the end of the day and see if we did anything wrong. But for me, I'm quite happy with the trade. I don't think it's anything wrong with it. It's just one of those trades that doesn't quite come off. Okay. So let's continue with some of this analysis. I want to talk about New Zealand dollar, US dollar, because I think it's at a very crucial point right now. So last week we saw the US dollar push very bullish, and this week we saw it sort of dwindle a bit. So if we look at the dollar strength, we can see last week we had this massive bull run, and then the end of last week and the beginning of this week we're heading bearish. Okay. So if we look at New Zealand dollar, US dollar, we can see that the New Zealand dollar is pushing very bullish on the US dollar. That comes with a lot of news from the New Zealand dollar rates as well. But right now, we're at a very crucial level. So if we look at the line chart, we can see that price has sort of created a little double top structure right here. Okay, so either from this stage, we break below this level, and if that happens, I'm going to look for sells, or we break above the previous high. And if that happens, I'm going to look for buys. Okay, so if we look at the dollar, I'm thinking maybe we hold this previous low right here, and the dollar pushes bullish from here. Okay, that seems logical. But again, until I see any sort of, confirmation, I'm not sure where this is going to go. And that's why I just wait. I'm patient, and I wait for the break for the market to show me where price is actually going to go. Okay. So the plan is, if we see price break below, I'm going to wait for the retest and then a continuation down from there. Okay. If we see price break above, exact same thing, wait for that retest and then price to continue bullish from there. Okay. At these key levels on the retests, I want to see weak rejections and I want to see engulfing candles. Okay. So my position will look something like this, somewhere over there. And I go for my 1 to 3. Okay, stop loss above the lows, the highs, pardon me. And if we look at the bullish one, it'll be the exact same, but in the opposite direction, obviously. Okay, so that's the plan. Right now, I couldn't tell you where this is going to go. And that's why I'm just going to wait for the market to show me some evidence that price has created some sort of bias. Okay, but it looks like we might be pushing down. And that's how I will trade that. Okay.
In our content, you may have noticed that we occasionally use our own proprietary software to research the markets. This market scanner is called the A1 Edge Finder, and it is a tool our team has spent a lot of time designing and updating. The scanner imports data on things like retail positions to see what retail traders are buying or selling. It also imports bank and hedge fund positioning so that we can get an inside look at what the big players are up to. Of course, we pay attention to fundamentals, so we program the tool to grab economic data in real time to help keep us up to date. If you'd like a copy of the tool yourself, we're doing a major subscriber discount when you use code A1YT at checkout. In the description below, you'll find a link to get access to the tool. By purchasing our software, you'll be supporting our research videos here, as well as getting access to an amazing tool. Again, use code A1YT down below. Now, back to the video.
New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen, we can see a sort of similar situation. Okay. Now in this one, we've sort of created a head and shoulders. So we can see the left shoulder, then we can see the head, and now we can see a little right shoulder forming. Okay. Very clear on the line chart, right over there. But the key thing is that this level is what I'm looking at. Okay. Now we can see that price has failed to break below that level multiple times. We failed to make new highs, and now it looks like we might be breaking below that level. Okay. If we break below that level, we can see we'll be breaking this big uptrend. Plus we'll be breaking below the previous higher low structure, which is that right there. Okay. So if this happens, let's say the 4-hour closes somewhere down here, I want to see price push back on the 1 hour, and then I'm going to look for sells coming off of that level. Okay. I'm not concerned about this noise because I have my 4-hour bias on the structure. Okay. So obviously, again, I just want to wait for price to create some weak rejections, show that the sellers are in control, and I want to see a nice engulfing candle, and I'm going to enter with my sell somewhere over there, stop loss safely above structure, and I'm going to go for my 1 to 3. Okay. I think if price pushes down, we have a high probability of price, sort of shooting down back down to these levels. But then again, you never know. This is just my plan. But it is a really nice looking setup so far. And we're just going to wait and see what happens with it for now. Okay, again, just going to wait for the market to show me the bias. Aussie dollar, Swiss franc, we're looking the opposite. Okay, so I've got my alert at this key level. And if we look at this, we can see that within this level, price has consolidated for a while. Okay, it's failing to break above. And it's also failing to break below as well. Then finally we get the break above. We can see the 4-hour closing above this level. Okay. So for me, I'm starting to look at buys. I flip to my 1 hour, and what do we see? Really nice level. Now, surprise, surprise, wait for that retest and that continuation. Okay. And again, we want to wait for these weak rejections to show that the sellers are trying to push this market down, but the buyers have the control, and price is most likely going to continue bullish from here. Stop loss below the lows, and we go for our 1 to 3. Okay. Very simple market structure, but I really like this setup. Okay. And I'm going to keep my eyes on it. That's why I have my alert there. Okay. I'm not going to look at these British pound pairs, simply because as we flick through them, you can see that the British pound shot massively to the upside, okay? And for me, I can't trade this, okay? It doesn't suit my style of trading. I need price to push back to these levels, and I don't think price is going to push back to those levels after this massive move, okay? Simple as that. That's the only reason I'm not looking at it. USD JPY, okay? So we can sort of see the contrast between New Zealand dollar, US dollar, and US dollar, Japanese yen, okay? This one pushing bearish, and it's now at a crucial point as well, okay? If we get rid of this and analyze the market from here. So we can clearly see right now we're in a bearish phase. We're pushing bearish, making lower lows and lower highs. Clearly on the line chart, we're pushing bearish, okay? But note, we're also creating a nice double bottom right here, okay? So for me, I'm watching this market closely, and whether we break to the upside, I'm going to be looking at something like this, or if we break to the downside, I'm just going to be looking for those continuation sells, okay? Very simple piece of structure, probably my most used setup. Price just creates a little consolidation, and then we wait for the breakout either side, okay? We're trading off a double bottom structure, or we're trading off a double top structure, okay? So realistically, it's the best of both worlds. If we flip to the 1 hour, we can see a very nice clean level. And again, once price breaks and closes out of this level, we'll flip to the lower time frames, and then we want to see those wick rejections and those engulfing candles to show the market is respecting these levels. And then we enter, sell with an engulfing candle somewhere around there, or buy with an engulfing candle somewhere around there, okay? Yeah, very simple plan. We'll see what the US dollar does. And we'll go from there, okay? Just noticing, I'm not rushing into anything. I'm not trying to predict the markets per se. I'm just waiting to see what the market does. And if it shows me what price is likely going to do, that's when I enter, okay? I'm not trying to feel the market or whatever, okay? I'm just waiting for price to show me where it's most likely going to go, okay? Cad Jpy. Another very nice setup that I'm watching quite closely. So we can see in the market that this level is quite a key level. Okay, we failed to break above it twice now, and we even have some wicks that failed to break above it there as well. Okay, so I'm thinking if price breaks and closes nicely above this level, somewhere up here, I'm looking at some bullish behavior. Okay, and once that happens, I'm going to flip to my 1 hour. I want to see price push back to this key level and then continue bullish from here, okay? Note that I'm not trying to enter the market here, okay? Even though we have a wick rejection and even though we might have an engulfing candle, the 4 hour time frame has not broken and closed above this level yet, okay? So only when that 4 hour for me closes, that's when I can look at the 1 hour, and then I need to see that retest, okay? So not before that 4 hour closes, okay? Exact same thing. I want to see price create these wick rejections and create a real nice engulfing candle before I enter. But very simple plan. Hopefully it can push off. If the 4 hour, if we just get rid of some of this drawings, if the 4 hour doesn't close above this level, I'm just not going to trade. Okay, simple as that. And we're just going to wait for price to do something else. Okay, if 4H wicks down, I'm just going to wait for something else to form. Okay, very simple plan. Let's see how it goes. So Euro AUD, we already broke down. But if we get rid of this, this loss, we can always look at price to continue bearish from here or bullish. Okay, so if the price breaks and closes below this level and we see Aussie dollar strength, what do? We just wait for that retest and then that continuation, okay? And again, on the 1 hour, we want to see those rejections and we want to see those wicks and engulfing candles, and we look to enter somewhere over here, okay? Stop loss safely below the highs, not getting greedy, and we take our 1 to 3, okay? Move our stop loss to break even once we hit some of these lows potentially, but we'll see where it goes. At this stage, unknown. I'm not sure where price is going to go, because why? We're not really trending. We're sort of ranging. Okay. Euro GBP, I want to talk about as well. Okay. So if we look at this market, very classic reversal setup. Okay. We can see price has already broken this trend line. We can see we formed a nice double top structure, failed to make new highs, but the key is that we've broken below the previous higher low structure. Okay, so as soon as that happens, I start looking at this from a bearish perspective. Flip to my 1 hour, and we have this sort of wick rejection, but at this stage, the 4 hour had not closed below the level. So now I got my alert ready, and I want to see price push back to this key level and create a similar sort of, structure with this wick and engulfing candle, but I want to see it on the next retest. Okay, that way we're sort of getting a double top as well, but that'll be a really, really nice setup if we see some sort of a double top sort of rejection with some wicks and an engulfing candle, and we can even target some of these lows down here. Okay, so very cool setup. Let's see how it plays out, and I'm going to be very patient with that one. Okay, Eurocad, again, we're in a really nice consolidation. Okay, so we can see clearly with the levels marked here. I'm going to move this down, and remember, these are areas. Okay, so I'm not too concerned about where the level is specifically. I'm more just concerned about trying to identify the market bias. Okay, so let's say price breaks and closes above this level. What are we doing? We're making a higher high. So I can expect price to continue bullish after creating a higher low structure right there. Or if we break below, coming off a triple top, actually, lower low, lower high, and continue from there. Okay, and of course, we want to enter here and here with those confirmations such as wicks, engulfing candles, and patterns like double bottoms and double tops. Okay, so that is the analysis for today. Looks like we might hit a break even on this trade, which is fine. But yeah, reminder again, please subscribe to the channel. Really great content, and enjoy the week. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow.